you play Warhammer 40k and are tired of constantly losing games, then do I have the video for you. Warhammer 40k can be a pretty daunting wargame with a lot of intricate rules and complicated concepts that can leave both new and veteran players baffled and confused. You slog through many hours of dice rolling in bewilderment, and all you get out of it is exhaustion and a bitter defeat. But that all changes right now. Today, I will be teaching you all the best tips and tricks to ensure that you will win every game of Warhammer you'll ever play. If you want to be the winniest winner who always wins and claims victory at all costs, then you'd better take this video off your second monitor, drag that YouTube window right to the dead center of your eyeballs, and give it your full attention. I'll be revealing all the best ways that you can become the tournament top table tactical terror that you know deep down inside that you are. And the only reason that you aren't there yet is because you haven't had the time to really invest in playing more than a game every month due to doing those far less important things like work or sleep or maintaining close relationships. You're already neglecting your pile of shame because you don't have time to paint. But don't worry, your old buddy Paul is here to give you the quickfire guide on being the best Warhammer in the galaxy. Listen, let's be real, right? We all know that Warhammer 40k is not a fun game. No one actually plays this game because it's fun, or because hanging out with friends is enjoyable, or because meeting new people who are passionate about the same hobby as you is fulfilling. No, of course not. We play 40k because we're here to win, because winning and being a winner is the most important aspect of any war game. If you want to have fun, you go play an actually fun game like Gaslands, or Ages of Sigma, or Middle Little Striddle Biddle Giddle, or Fortnite. So let's get down to it, starting with the very first thing you'll need to get good at: building a list. How do you think you should be building a winning army that will claim victory on the battlefield? Have a look at your collection. Look at your favorite models. Can you find the diamonds in the rough that will actually be useful, and not just something fancy you bought because it looked cool? If you selected a unit from your collection, congratulations! You failed and you're a loser. What's wrong with you? Sit your ass down at the computer and look at the latest tournament results. Which army's at the top? What units are they using? You need to be doing that. Did you think you'd be able to construct a balanced strategic list yourself? Why would you? Someone else has already done the legwork. So take that list, copy it, paste it, and you're done. Well done. You're on your way to being a winner. Now, if you want victory at all costs, we're going to have to talk about costs. That list has some models that you don't have, or maybe it's not even an army that you own. That might be a lot of new, very expensive models that you need to buy. And how are you going to get all that done before that tournament you just impulsively registered for when you saw the title of this video and assumed that this would guarantee you a win and the adulation of all your closest friends? Even if you did get your wallet out, that's a lot of stuff to build. That's going to be a nightmare. But don't worry, got you covered. Got a few options here. Have a look at your collection. Look at it from far away, maybe from another room, or through the window if you can. Squint really, really hard. Do you see what I see? Yeah, that's right. That does look suspiciously like the unit you need. That'll definitely work as a proxy. Okay, so maybe that 100% proven guaranteed winning list is a bit too different to what you own currently, because you decided you wanted to play the cool-looking mech anime Tauber. Everyone else is playing boring 6-Dawn tank spam guard. Don't panic. This is fine. I said don't panic. Stop panicking. Why are you panicking? Stop it! I'm sure you're a smart enough person for a quick Google, or you know a person who has a 3D printer available. Remember, if you squint, anything can work, so you don't have to find anything of decent quality. If you can find some models that are super unique and interesting and push the boundaries of logical anatomy, that's going to be all the better. 40k is all about mind games, you see, so if you can ensure that your opponent is unable to concentrate due to being uncomfortable, that's going to play into your game plan. And make sure to really study these models beforehand so you aren't affected during the game. Like, really get a good close look. Really study these models. Whilst it's normally a useful tool to have, you don't suddenly want an unexpected 1-inch template knocking around in your trousers. Fucking hell. We're not looking to enter Golden Demon, champ. We just need those 100% successful models in whatever state you can. You can hit them with the Spray Zenithal Speed Fake combo. If you're a bitch. You only need 3 colors, and with all that over-the-top slap-chop nonsense, you'll be getting so many different colors for all that highlighting.
Disgusting.
Colored spray, 2 other colors somewhere just to meet quota. Chuck your models in the nearest mud pile you can find for the base, and move on to the more important things, like being a winner. In order to win, you are going to need a way to get those models to the table. If you've got a sack or a plastic bag, chuck them in there, and that'll be all right. You might have a breakage, or maybe a bit of paint chips on that winning paint scheme. You don't want to risk losing points for having models that don't fit these archaic and tyrannical battle-ready rules. So, for safety, I'd suggest getting yourself an MDF carry case from Tabletop Stronghold, and you better watch, because only true winners will watch the sponsor time. We now go to a report by our correspondent Spencer Ship with the latest on the rampaging monster story. The level of destruction here on generic City High Street is massive, all caused by a crazed humanoid abomination which has struck fear into the locals. Many have evacuated to the safety of the nearby tabletop stronghold, a mysterious safe haven run by a West Virginian wizard, which is made from impenetrable and sturdy MDF and the power of magnets. Eyewitnesses claim that the monster is yelling nonsense at people about how you can get a strong MDF Magcase 2.0 or MDF terrain from tabletopstronghold.com, how the Magcase 2.0 safely carries and displays your miniatures, how the adjustable trays can fit minis of any size, and how you can get free shipping on your purchase of a Magcase 2.0 to the USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and most of the EU. We are as of yet unsure what this means, but local authorities urge all citizens to go to tabletopstronghold.com to get their hands on an MDF minicase or MDF terrain in the hopes that this will sate this beast's bloodlust. Spencer Ship, PIB News. Now, just because you have the most powerful army that you've lovingly and painstakingly prepared, you might think that you can just waltz in and take the trophy, right? Well, I mean, you can, I guess. If you were playing for any percent speedrun 40k, you could just steal the trophy and leave. And that would make you a winner by default. But if you do that, then no one will know you stole it. So what's the point? You want everyone to know who you are so that you can parade your trophy through the streets to your legions of adoring fans. So you are going to have to play some 40k. And even with that hyper meta super list, you might have issues with winning because of something that you must be wary of. Lack of preparation. This is a complicated game, and if you aren't prepared to win, you are doomed to be a loser. So you'd best take your list, grab your codex or your set of data cards, realize that you don't normally play this army, and instead print the data cards off of Wikipedia, sit down at your desk with a nice cup of your favorite beverage, a notebook, and throw all of that in the trash. What, did you think you needed to study to understand the lists and the units, how they interact, your rules, the rules of the game? Of course not. This list is 100% guaranteed to win. And the more you clog up your brain with all those stupid unit profiles and stratagems and basic understanding of the terrain rules, the less room you have for your well-deserved ego. When I say preparation, I mean the tools that you need to play the game properly, like a true winner. All this preparation will take some time, but be sure to put all your time to this step. Skip bathing. Not only is it a waste of time, but your natural scent is a pleasant addition to the tournament and will ensure that everyone notices you. You may be in situations where you're playing the game and things aren't going so well, and that's because you didn't prepare. And I guarantee that the reason you lost it especially was because of these. These stupid six-sided uncontrollable demons could ruin your best laid plans if they decide that they don't want to roll the correct numbers like they're supposed to. Using dice that are potentially more lucky could help, but you don't want to get caught cheating, do you? That's not very cash money of you. What do you mean you tried to flush your dice down the toilet? I mean, the cheating I can excuse, but getting caught? Loser. You're a loser. Stop losing. You need some really good dice. Find dice that anyone who isn't nearly as pro as you might struggle to read. Find several different sets of these dice and mix them up. And use your winner's attitude to tell your opponent what the dice say. Don't give them a chance to look upon the dice. That's wasting time. They won't read them fast enough. They're not pro enough like you. The game encourages using fast dice rolling, so get fast. Those dice need to be a blur to your opponents. You need to be able to read the result and parse it as fast as humanly possible. And if you misread one or two results from time to time, that's no big deal. Hey, mistakes happen. Sometimes that one really looked like a 6, you know? Now you're in the game, deployment is fairly easy. You know what the best units in the list are, right? You know what needs to go where, what can deep strike, what can scout, infiltrate, what needs to be hidden, what needs to be pushed forward, all that stuff. Just do that. It's fairly easy. You have all the right tools, and of course you know how to use them. You're a winner. Now let's talk about movement. Using movement is one of the most crucial parts of the game, even more so than doing damage to your opponent's army. So you need to make sure you get this right. Otherwise, all that effort you put into constructing this amazing and unique army list will be all for naught. There's a few things you can do to ensure that you get the most out of movement. Spreading out units within the limits of their coherency will allow you to get more board control for the opponent's deep strikes, use piling, consolidation moves, yeah, extras. All that stuff is obvious. You don't need me to explain actual concepts like that. You want the good stuff, the winner's stuff. When measuring movement, you generally measure from the front of the base, but sometimes that tape measure gets in the way. It's a bit easier just to put the back of the base at the end of the tape. And hey, look at that, you got a little bit of extra movement. Now, this is quite an old trick, so an eagle-eyed opponent might spot it. And if they do, then, whoopsie, things are getting a bit too fast. My bad, won't happen again. But you see, they're looking for that. It's a common little trick used by idiots who can't even pronounce Sabutio Goldilocks. Row your boat gently down the Avrain. Rabuti Gilliman, there it is. But what they aren't looking for is that you spent last night making a custom tape measure from scratch where every inch is actually 10% bigger than normal, meaning that you can really get some good movement going without them even noticing. Now that's the winner's mindset right there. You're also going to need to prepare for line of sight. Line of sight in Warhammer is measured from any part of the attacking model to any part of the defending model. This means all those little flags and wingtips are fair game for measuring to and from. If you were smart and got some amazing models, you'd have made sure that those amazing models had a profile that was easily hidden. But that's if you're smart. Being smart does not make you a winner. If you were actually being a winner, you'd be adding little bits of clay or blue tack that look like parts of your model, so that you can fire from them, then sneakily squish them behind line of sight so you can't be shot back. You also might need to make sure that some of those really cool and totally normal models for totally normal people you have are rotated so they aren't sticking out so much. But if you truly want to be prepared, truly reach that next stage, then you need to look at the rules and try and find exploits within them. Let's read the rules on line of sight. Warhammer 40,000 uses true line of sight to determine visibility between models. To check this, get a model's perspective view by looking from behind the observing model. If any part of another model can be seen from any part of the observing model, that other model is visible to the observing model. I'm sure you've worked out by now, by looking at those rules, what you needed to prepared and brought with you. That's right. Pepper spray! If your opponent is struggling to determine if their model can see yours, then you can solve that problem real quick by giving the eyes the old 1-2, and now, because they can't see, no part of your model is visible. You don't know what happened, Mr. T.O. Maybe it's the dust in the room. They must have some allergies, but if they run out of time on their clock, you'll just have to continue taking your turns without reprisal. Also remember, being a winner is also about proper sportsmanship. So help pack away their models whilst they're writhing on the floor in agony. Just make sure to finish that delicious bag of extra cheesy crisps, because being well hydrated and having snacks is very important. Now, there are some people who might start trying to deny your well-deserved victory, claiming that you're cheating or committing a crime, or that they're calling the police. They're just jealous of your superior mind games and cerebral tacticianship. And they're just trying to besmirch your name and stop you getting to your obviously earned place at the upper echelons of Warhammer society. But you listened to me and my advice, and you prepared for this. So pull out your gun and calmly explain that you'd like to continue the game, and if your opponent's eyes are just too well seasoned, then you believe that they should be required to forfeit and you'll proceed to the next game. At this point, everyone will be very understanding of the situation and will ensure that the rest of your tournament goes extremely smoothly. Congratulations! You are a winner! Everyone knows your name and everyone will remember your incredible list and your unparalleled tactical ability. You'll even get a free photo with your trophy, complete with the proof that you are definitely not 5'11". Trust me, bro, I'm definitely 6 foot. Here, you can measure it with my tape measure. No, wait, don't use that. Frankly, the only way you could be cooler is to like, comment, and subscribe, and true winners will become a member or patron to the channel to help ensure that I can provide this quality advice that will skyrocket your gaming experience to the stratosphere. These people right here, these are the names of true champions, the pinnacle of humanity, the cream of the crop when it comes to existing. And you can join them too and get access to the super secret tactics Discord, where you can download my guide on the best models to play to inflict the most damage to someone when you chokeslam them through a table.